What's going on, gang? SDJB here with another episode of Cheleo Power, the real hustle for investing, especially if you are a beginner like most of us with a bunch of kids, 9 to 5, day-to-day life in your way, and you're still hustling, trying to learn this business. Anyways, I'm trying to keep this video short, but I would definitely like to review a few patterns that we have been making some money in the chat with. As you can see in my account, I started this account with a couple of $100. Robinhood is a little iffy, so take this with a grain of salt. But yep, we were in the 200, I believe, 200 and change, and then all the way up, following the same patterns, rinse, repeat. So this month was great. Congratulations to the gang. As I said in one of my comments, I'm disappointed that I was up about $4,000 and lost about $1,000 or 900 and change. As I am keeping VRTX, I like this sucker, and it was all the way up. I took some profit, but not all. And it went from 1,400, 1,500 to about $600, which is what I am in profit right now, 100%. So excellent call, good teamwork, keep it up. Anyways, long story short, to not make this video too long, I wanted to talk about the patterns that we've been calling out that are working for us, guys. One of my favorite patterns is the ascending triangles. Ascending triangles basically identify a growth, an uptrend, a solid uptrend. And at the same time, it tells you that the thing is coiling, right? So it gets to a point where it gets so coiled up that at the end of the day or at the end of the week or whatever period, it has to pop, right? Not all the time it pops to uptrend, but ascending triangle, there is a high probability that if it's ascending triangle and it's coiling, it will pop towards the trend area, or the strength of the trend. Jesus, I can't speak. So it will pop up. Anyways, as you can see here, we said this is coiling, strong financials, support area. It popped around this area and it came back down to old resistance, right? So you know the saying where I said old resistance becomes new support. Old resistance becomes new support. So at that point, we identify and we say, hey, heavy eyes here. If this thing holds, it will most likely continue the uptrend. And voila, this is what it did. It held right here, went down probably a couple of candles, and boom. And guess who made money? Oh, he did make money. And again, it's ascending triangle. The call was made in the chat. Chat has priority over any other platform. After that, it was made on StockTwits and Twitter. And look at that, 21%. 21%, guys. That's very good. In regular shares, our calls apply for regular shares and options. So imagine 21% translated into options. My God. So anyways, long story short, we did make a killing. Congratulations to the gang. But that's that, ascending triangle. Moving on, another ascending triangle, guys. It's all about training the eye. There are a million ways to skin the cat. I try to keep it simple. I am super busy throughout the day with whatever, and a few patterns that I identify and get good at it, it does well for me personally. So I focus on very few patterns, keeping it simple on the share side and on the option side. So here is another example. ECYT. We say, hey guys, this is coiling again, ascending triangle, right? Purpose of this, remember, purpose of the chat, purpose of the group, any community that you are part of, try to learn something from each other, right? Help you guys out and ask a million questions, but at the same time, do your research, try to study, and try to bring something to the team. So again, ascending triangle right here, right? You can tell that it's getting longer, shorter, and then look at that, started coiling. This is when we say, that looks funny. Resistance broken. It poked through the resistance, as you can see. Old resistance becomes new support. Backing it up, the Q, right? Any finance, any good numbers, sales beat, pocket pivot, we call that out a lot, the pocket pivot on the volume. Pocket pivot happens, that's another video, but if you are reading the books, the three main books that we recommend here, you should identify. Long story short is, when there is a big pop past the usual average on the 10 days to the left, the last volume is higher than the 10 previous days, right? And this is a pocket pivot. That's what's called a pocket pivot. More details in another video, or read the book, or ask question in the chat. Damn, 7 minutes already. I'm talking too much. Anyways, ascending triangle, train the eye. Look at that. It starts wide, getting narrow, and the uptrend is solid, right? So uptrending, and we say, hey guys, keep an eye on this. If it breaks, another set of questions that we've been getting, like, when do we get in? Well, you can get in on volume. Look, volume. I'm a swing trader, guys. Remember, by nature, I'm a day trader, but I cannot day trade due to my job. So I do most of my swing trading. I would say 80-85%. I'm a swing trader. So this day tells you that something is happening, something is cooking with that volume, and it's coiling. You can see it. It broke resistance, and now it's kind of flagging, basing here. So look, I put two little candles, red candles. It goes back down, and it did exactly, god damn it, we're good at this. So it did exactly the same, and it did boom, bounce, and then boom, gone with the wind. So when would you enter this trade? I mean, you can enter right there and put a stop loss right below the old resistance if you don't want to risk it all. Depends on your risk tolerance. On regular shares, it depends on the account, on the person, but it's a lot going on. But I would set a stop loss below the old resistance or the new support, which is the same thing, or below this point here. But again, if the thinking is, if it breaks, it could go back to this new support, right? And then coil over here and continue. So the two stop losses that I would do are stop loss here and stop loss here. So if it breaks here and you want to cut, you can cut. If you're feeling frisky and more risk, you can cut if it breaks past this point here. So I hope I'm making sense. But again, this is what we did, and boom, 20% after the call, man. 20% on regular shares after the call. Incredible. So congratulations to us making money there. Another pattern that I really like, and you guys, hear me out with the W patterns. W patterns, if you're reading the books, are very nice because you have an uptrend, right? You have a nice uptrend, and it gets to a point that it needs a recess. So it starts shaking the weekends, right? But then it goes back up to retest. And then here is when it's like people, toots get in or big money, whatever, they are really, really shaking. So it usually, for a W pattern to be a nice one, usually past the first dip a little bit. There is a percentage, I don't remember. And then for that percentage, it's like remember, it's like pulling it back and it gets out of this like very strong. So W pattern also makes us a lot of money because we usually either buy around here when it's turning, or you can buy around here or here, which is what we call the W pattern buy point. So the real buy point is around here. And here is where it was forming. And hey, we come in and say, hey, this guy is touch already here, tried here, was rejected, and it went back up. So somebody wants it up, right? Then accompanied by good earnings, price target increase, they killed the earnings, EPS and sales beat. So all of that, it's a combination for explosion. And guess what? We get in the next day, next following couple of days, boom, it goes back up. So one thing that happened, a few of us, or not us, but a few members, this was called when it broke here. But as you can see, she retraced, and a lot of people started freaking out. So one thing is, Rick explained the stop loss pretty well. So read the chat, all the comments he did, just search for it. But look, it hasn't broken the flag or the consolidation. Even though it went up and it came down, it's at support still, which is this support. If it breaks, then you get the heck out. But if it's still flirting with this, you don't want to get stuck sideways, but you can just ride it until it went up. And boom, 6%. So congratulations to 2018. Forgot the rest of the nick, but she was in. Congratulations to Rich. Congratulations to I got in this sucker and sold it too. So good pattern. 13 minutes. So I'm gonna just browse through real quick because not everybody watches the entire videos, but this, I thought this was pretty helpful for whoever wants to see the patterns. Again, revenue beats, sales beat. It broke through the resistance here, went up, then it came back down. So what do we say? Old resistance becomes new support. This was the old resistance. So once it breaks it, there is a heavy chance that this will be the new support. And guess what? You guessed it right. It popped 17 goddamn percent and it's still going strong. 17%, guys. And again, it's a combination of a lot of things. Look at the financials real quick. And when I do my DD, I have a routine that I'm looking for certain things like quick. I don't have a lot of times. I have 2 kids. I have a job. I have a wife. I have family. I have other things that I have to take care of. So I have, I look at the earnings, any catalyst, any news, and that's that's in a matter of a couple of minutes. I already know and get acquainted with them pigs or the stocks, right? So BEAT, great run. Kron, we all know the situation with Kron. I mean, this is a extraterrestrial one. But, it caught fire. It did caught fire, for whatever reason, news, pot stocks getting hot, whatever. It did, but we started saying, hey, this is following a nice trend. It came down, it always pops. It popped. It popped. Down, popped. So, and it's coiling. So you get this coil, it usually breaks to the upside, right? Because the sellers run out and then shorts get stuck and they have to cover. So by covering, they have to buy back a bunch of shares, which makes it go bazookas. And that is what happened. I have here that 45%, but this went as high as almost 100%. So it was in the 90s for profit, right? Today I took the picture and it gives me the range of today, I believe. So 45 because it dropped after that Citron short made that news. But before that, this was up in the 90s, almost 100%. That's insane, guys. But again, we are there to follow it. Another one, look how similar they look. Cron CGC. We call this out in the 25s, and again, heavy eyes, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. Call it out all over the chat. 72%. Booyah. And that makes me proud, guys. You know why? Because we're no experts. We're not, gurus charging and flashing Lambos and this and that. We're just learning. We're just hungry, learning these things. And yes, we make a lot of mistakes. I'm dealing with a bunch of demons. Greed is one of them. I'm trying to perfect my timing, but look at this. Another 72%. VRS. Writing the 10 SMA. That's another one, but video is way too long. 17 minutes already. 51%. MDB. Ascending triangle. 16%. AAP, ascending triangle, 12%. Etsy, we all know Etsy and we love Etsy. All resistance become new support. It popped, it came back down. Oh, I don't have Etsy, but you know what Etsy went bananas to. ATTU, another nice flag. Formation consolidation, 78%, guys, after the call. So we threw the numbers out there and we're having about 80 to 85 average of accuracy, which is pretty amazing for a little group of beginner rookies. So be proud of yourself. Don't let the haters discourage you, and stay humble, guys. Look at SQ, 19%, another beautiful ascending triangle. All right, so I just want AMD. We all know what happened with AMD. I freaking made like 400% on this, on my calls. Apple, 18%. Apple, a little sucker. $1 trillion. Nvidia. Anyways, guys, you get the point. I just wanted to go over rinse, repeat. Try to keep it simple. If you have time to learn all fancy tools and everything, more power to you. But if you want to start learning and reading, and try to keep it simple, learn something good, move to the next. And if you're in the chat, you see these patterns a lot. Ascending triangles, W patterns, 3-week tides. That's one that I didn't bring up here, but 3-week tides. And again, rinse, repeat, guys. 19 minutes. My God, I will post this just for fun, but hopefully you find it interesting, educational. If you like it, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Read the books. How to Make Money in Stocks. Minervini's books. They are killers. They are bringing the A game of any trader. So don't pay for education, expensive education, if you can have these books for 20, 30 bucks. All right. So that being said, hope everybody's having a great weekend. Stay humble and peace out.